Welcome back, everybody, to the Power of Conversation podcast. This is episode number 2. As always, you can get this podcast on YouTube at EVZN TV, or you can get it on any podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And it is 8:24 p.m. on a rainy Sunday night here in Milledgeville. I just tried to get a hoop session in just a little bit ago, and it got rained out, unfortunately for me. But yeah, just that's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm not going to go too far into this intro today, simply because I recorded an intro for this particular podcast 2 days ago, and based on the current events that transpired in this podcast and in this interview that I will be covering in just a little bit, it made me want to look at the intro that I recorded and just say, fuck it, honestly, if you want me to be real with you. Because I actually had a guy named HeartBlck come on to the show today. That is today's guest here on the Power of Conversation. And when I tell you this is one of the most pure conversations I've ever had in my life, I truly mean it. HeartBlck is a guy I met through JNS and the video shoot I did for him, the Bit Hold On music video shoot. I then saw him at downtown Milledgeville. Saw him a few times, talked to him. Seemed like a really, really nice dude. And I didn't even really know he made music at the time. And then I found out about his music, and he instantly turned into one of my favorite artists on a global scale or on a local scale. Really, just one of my favorite artists in general. And so the more and more I got to know this guy, well, I was like, I got to have him on EVZN TV somehow. And what's the best way we can do that? Well, it's very simple. Have him come on to the Power of Conversation podcast, specifically episode number 2. And look, this conversation blew me away. It really did. It blew me away so much that I had to go take a few minutes to digest it before I decided to re-record this intro. Overall, just a really great guy, really passionate about what he does, and he's very knowledgeable as well. I'm just excited for y'all to hear about this. It was just a great conversation. The only caveat to this is that when I looked through the original footage, playing back through the audio and then the video component, if you're watching here on EVZN TV, is that my camera is not exactly the best when it comes to podcasting. I'll just go ahead and point it out there. This isn't the most professional channel you'll ever see. I'm only 19. I've only been doing podcasting now for 2 weeks. And I've only been making videos for 3 years, but I've never really had to encounter podcasting before. There's still a lot I don't know about it, but I will say on the video side, my camera actually cut out towards the end of the interview, and I didn't even know it. The shutter went off, and I just didn't catch it. So if you're watching this here on EVZN TV on YouTube, you will notice that the last, I believe, 5 to 7 minutes of the conversation has no video component to it. And that's just a disclaimer and an apology in advance. But I really feel like that won't hurt the conversation that we had, because let me tell y'all, it was powerful. It was a lot. There was a lot of stuff I learned about him. And there's just a lot of insight that he has that is just, it's just crazy. And it was, it blew me away. It really, really did. But to fix the video component of things, what everybody can do is here later this month, there will be a merchandise drop for EVZN TV. There will be black shirts, there will be white logo shirts, and there will be black logo beanies as well. So what you can do is stay tuned to the EVZN TV YouTube channel as well as Instagram, my personal Instagram at the real EVZN, or the EVZN TV Instagram at EVZN TV. And stay tuned on all the alerts on the merch drop. Go ahead, buy the merch, support the channel. Maybe I can get a camera that won't cut out after 25 minutes of recording. I don't know. But anyways, back to what today's episode is about. We'll have HeartBlck on the air here soon. And yeah, just a great conversation. Honestly, great guy. And I'm very excited for y'all to hear this interview. So once again, thank you to everyone who supports me and supports this channel and supports this podcast. And I hope everyone enjoys the interview. Welcome back to the Power of Conversation podcast. I am on today with HeartBlck. He has an album coming out December 11th. It's Not Me, It's You. It's not every day you get to interview one of your favorite artists, and HeartBlck really is one of my favorite artists right now. So I'm very excited to have you on today, bro.
Appreciate it, dog.
Of course. So let's get right into it. Just tell the audience just about who you are. Who is HeartBlck?
HeartBlck is not as simple as it seems, to be honest. I'm from Macon. I'm 23 years old. I've lived double the amount of life that I've actually been alive. Man, that's a tough one. It's
a tough way to start the interview, but that's what we do here at the Power Conversation. We ask the tough questions. But
you're right.
Yeah, you say you're from Macon. Just elaborate a little bit more about like how that was.
Growing up in Macon?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm from East Macon originally.
Okay.
I grew up right behind the closed down Harvey's over there, like right when you're driving in the town, coming from Milledgeville. Actually, I live right behind that. It was me, my older brother Jovan, my sister Brianna, and my other older brother Jordan, and my two folks. For
sure.
It was man, as a kid, you don't know what's really going on and everything.
Yeah, totally.
Like my parents, I had great parents.
Yeah.
Everything that I needed, I had. Like,
that's good.
For real. And it wasn't like we were just having or nothing like that. My folks just worked hard. Like, they worked they worked to the bone, bro. Like, and just made sure I was taken care of. Oh, I got you.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Nah, man, it's I got you though. But they just made sure I was taken care of. So that work ethic, that was just instilled from me from a young age, man. Like, I've never seen myself not being successful in whatever I chose to do.
Yeah, that's hard right there. Definitely, and I would assume there would be a lot of difficulties coming from a place kind of like Macon, if I'm being correct here. Am I being correct with that?
Macon, if you're growing up there, man, it's some cool stuff in Macon, man.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not like, and I love my city, don't get me wrong, but
right.
It's not somewhere I would just choose to, sit down and have live the rest of my life,
yeah.
Like, grow there.
Right. Like, what I mean by that is, Macon always gets a bad rep for being like the city full of like gang violence and stuff like that, and just a bad place. But I know there's definitely pretty much there's good things and bad things about really anywhere you live at, and
sure.
And I guess that's also like a misconception of Macon. It's just more bad than good.
I'm not gonna say it's a misconception because you can't fake news stories, you can't fake stuff that happens and people that are from there, like, but you're from somewhere, you learn how to move around your own city.
Totally. Totally.
And you just gotta try to stay out of the way. Staying out of the way is the best thing to do in Macon.
Yeah.
To be safe,
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you grew up in Macon, had a big family background. Let's talk about a little bit how you got here to Milledgeville. You live here now. So just go into how you got here.
I got to Milledgeville about it's 2016? Yeah, 2016, almost 5 years ago now. And I was I came here for college. I was playing soccer at Georgia Military when I came here.
You played soccer?
Yeah, 17 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was West Georgia my freshman year. I was like 245, man. Working out, I was a defensive end.
Oh.
And then I don't know, something clicked and I wanted to play soccer again. That was my first love.
Okay.
So I tried out for the team probably in March of 2016, March of 2016, and they told me to come on that summer. So.
And this is at West Georgia, right?
Yeah. This is I was at West Georgia at the time, but I came down here and I tried out for their soccer team and made it. So.
Wow, that's something I didn't know. One thing I filmed, like when I filmed this intro, I was like, I know HeartBlck a little bit, but there may be some things I just don't completely know, and I didn't know what to expect. And that right there.
That's why I couldn't just answer your first question off the rip, man, because I'm a very complex individual.
Hey, I love that.
It's a lot of layers.
For sure. You actually did wind up going to Georgia College at one point, or did you graduate from Georgia College? Is that correct?
Last year. December 2019.
What did you graduate with?
I have a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science and Associates of Science in Political Science.
That's hard right there. That's hard. It's not easy for anyone to get a college degree, and so I definitely respect that.
That's the single most hardest thing I've ever done.
Right, and balancing a music career on top of that. That's just that's kind of crazy, and that kind of leads to my next question. Really, here is, how did you get into making music?
Well, and this is a shout out to my boy back in Macon, Charlie Zero. Y'all need to check him out too.
All right.
Amazing artist. I wouldn't be here. There would be no HeartBlck or any variation of the names I've had without that dude. That's my best friend since the 8th grade. I used to just kick it with him in his garage when he was cooking stuff up, man.
Right.
And gradually, you being there, you start getting a little itch if you just love music.
Oh, totally.
And, just messing around. I'd sing a hook here for him, write a few lines, but nothing serious, and just learn from him. And eventually, you be there long enough, you're going to step in the booth.
Right.
And I just had the right people around me. It was my boy Charlie, my boy Kashi, which his name's Gabe. He lives in the UK now.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, another amazing artist. Shout out to him. My boy Custis, and my boy Jacob Lisher, who Jacob graduated from here last year, actually, Georgia College.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we that man used to let us use his basement. That's when we all first went up together, and we started this group called Ground Zero Entertainment.
Wow.
Yeah, this was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're not together officially as a group anymore.
Yeah.
As in we haven't made any music together in a few years, but those my partners that got my back. And then another dude, Darko.
Yeah, I've heard of Darko before. I actually think he was in the studio the other day. I believe at Clay's P&K and STY. Shout out to him, by the way. Hopefully I'm saying your name right.
Oh, that's
a lot of people say, I was about to say, a lot of people say like Punk Nasty or Pink Nasty or whatever. So obviously I'm still getting used to the crew of sorts over here.
It's Punk Nasty, Sick Nasty with it.
I got you. Punk Nasty, Sick Nasty with it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir. But I got to tell you about my boy Darko, bro.
Yeah. Go right into
Charlie. I'll say Charlie and Darko. Two dudes that literally I wouldn't be making music right now if it wasn't for them. Like,
right.
Charlie showed me the way, mentored me pretty much, which is my best friend, so it's kind of weird saying mentor, but that's what he did. Darko, when our whole group broke up and everything and everybody went their separate ways, Darko lifted me up. Darko and my boy Corey Kites, shout out to him too, another artist. He's also the dude that makes all of my cover arts.
Right.
So he's those are some great guys, bro. I didn't have any recording equipment anymore once the group broke up.
Right.
All I could do was write my thoughts down or keep them in my head or record them on my phone and hope I can find a studio at some point. And Darko pretty much grabbed me and Corey grabbed me and kept pushing me, gave me somewhere to record. Darko's been my engineer on pretty much every release I've ever done, except for this past year, because he had a beautiful baby girl. So you already know.
Respect.
Priorities.
Yeah, that's for sure. Priorities. How'd you get in the studio? Like going back to P&K Nasty.
Oh, Punk Nasty.
Punk Nasty. How'd you meet him? And Jay Wiz as well. I'm Jay Wiz. Another artist, for those who don't know, another artist who has been featured here on EVZN TV before and is also a frequent collaborator with HeartBlck. So how'd you meet all them?
Man. Well, I'm gonna start with Clay. Well, Punk Nasty, because that's a little bit of a shorter story.
Okay.
I got put on to him because Joya, another artist from here.
Yeah.
This man was on my ass for months, bro, about pulling up to the studio, come record, bro, come on. And me, I don't know, life gets busy.
Right.
But the day we showed up, man, it's been nothing but great vibes, because it's a certain feeling I want when I'm in the studio, and you don't get that everywhere. Even in some studios I've set up myself, you don't get that feeling.
Right, and I can attest to that. I've been there a few times when y'all are recording. It's nothing but great vibes, so I can definitely attest to that for sure.
Yeah, but I met Punk Nasty through Joya, and
that's fine.
We've made some hits this year, man.
For sure.
This album actually, he engineered this entire thing, man. So I sat by his side with him the whole time, and when I tell you, it's like I was saying about the vibe, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even have to tell this man, like, oh, I want this, I want that, you know. Some people like to command the engineers. Whether it's someone mixing my music, listening or collabing with me, I don't try to force a narrative. I like for whatever my music makes you feel, whatever interpretation of that you get or have, that's what I want.
For sure.
Because my interpretation, what it means to me and how it makes me feel isn't going to be the same, because people are all different. And that's one of the reasons, I guess stylistically, I am how I am, because I was thinking, like, when I started, people have a hard time finding their niche, finding, you know, their lane or whatever. And I was just thinking, well, everybody feels. Everybody has emotion. Everybody has pain. Everybody loves. So why not make the music for that everybody can feel?
Totally.
And whatever situation you need to fit, it will fit, you know?
Totally. That's hard right there. Speaking nothing but pure knowledge right here on The Power of Conversation. Hey, this is EVZN, host of the Power of Conversation podcast. I'd like to take this time today to thank our sponsor, EVZN TV. That's right. This podcast is self-sponsored because this is a brand new podcast. But I'd like to take this time to talk about some of the other new stuff coming soon as well. That's right. I'm talking about EVZN TV merchandise. Now, I've been wanting to make clothes ever since this channel was created back in 2018, but I'm very excited to announce that coming this December, we will have EVZN TV merchandise. 3 new pieces, a black logo shirt, a white logo shirt, and even EVZN TV beanies. For more information on when this is dropping, follow EVZN TV on Instagram, as well as subscribing to the channel that you're listening to right now. Now, back to the episode. So, this new album, It's Not Me, It's You. Just talk a little bit about the creative process behind it. Obviously, there are some songs that are already out with it. Maps, Toxic Love, which is my favorite song personally right now by yours. Pictures. So just go a little bit into how that process played out.
In terms of how I write my songs?
As far as you just write, as far as you write your songs, and how they all pretty much come together for this album.
Well, I started writing this album probably at around January of this year, and well, quarantine, whether you believe it or not, actually was a blessing in disguise for me.
Interesting.
I was selling cars, bro. You know, you got to be in folks' face all day, really long hours. Sometimes, you know, I get there at 8 a.m. I leave at 8. It just depends, man. You could be there for 12 plus hours. So working on the music, it got kind of hard because all the time that I had to put into the car dealership and everything, and it goes beyond just the hours you're at work. Because you have to talk to your customers, man. I have so many numbers on my phone from people that I probably won't ever talk to again, whether it was a dead lead or somebody finished it. So I didn't really have a whole bunch of time. And then quarantine happened. And I was, well, they cut me from the staff. They cut like half our staff actually because of, you know,
just budget cuts in general. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, man. It's life. But like I said, it's a blessing in disguise. I was able to sit in my room, in my studio. I had my room and just work, bro. Like I was just pushing out songs, bro. And from there, I started thinking, you know, choosing specific ones, such as Toxic Love, bro. I wrote that in early March, actually.
That's fire.
I just have a lot of them in the vault. But I get my inspiration from my own experiences or people who are close to me, their experiences. Or sometimes if I just feel like I want to get a message out to people, I have a very creative mind. I used to write a lot, avid reader. So it's almost like some of them I make these stories in my head because I know like I said, someone needs to hear it, bro.
Yeah, totally.
And they're usually based around relationships and such, because just the concept of love and having it is one of the most important things to life for me. Understanding how dangerous and how powerful it can be and how good it can be. It's pretty much all emotional.
That's true.
Emotionally driven, to be honest.
That's hard. What would you say would be your favorite song off of the album?
My favorite song off of the album? Oh man, y'all haven't even heard it.
Oh yeah, I think by the time this podcast will release, I think it would be the day before the album. It would be supposed to be released here on the 10th. I also filmed the intro on the 4th, and here we are filming the interview on the 6th. So I'm not necessarily the best with dates, but we'll see. But just to give the audience a little bit of preparation, what do you feel that your favorite song is off the album?
Right now, man, it's this track I got called Glass Heart. I can show you a little bit of it if you like.
Yeah, totally. We'll do that. We're gonna do that off camera, just so we don't ruin the magic of the album. I'm just really excited for the album though as well. We're not trying to ruin the magic right here, but definitely everyone should go get the album. It's Not Me To December 11th. It'll be out on Apple Music, Spotify, pretty much all platforms, right? All platforms. Yeah, totally. Are there any people that you want to work with in the future? Like any dream collaborations? Even I guess more realistic collaborations at the time. Just is there anyone specifically you want to work with?
As in like locally or someone?
Well, it can really be locally, of course, but just anybody really in general as well. Even speaking on a broader scale, just name some people that you would like to collab with.
Well, I'm the type, bro. I love working with any and everybody. I
Right.
don't care who it is, bro. That's just more music being made,
Right.
more good shit being made, put out into the world. But my favorite person to collab with, bro, is honestly my brother Seppi.
Seppi, yeah, for sure.
That's my.
He goes hard. He goes hard. We gotta have him here on the podcast.
It ain't nothing cooler than making the type of shit we make, bro. Even though we're so stylistically different, the art that we make, bro, it's nothing better than doing that with your own blood, bro. Like that's one of the best things
sure.
I've ever been able to experience in this life. But in terms of working with some major artists,
Yeah.
like some GOATs, man.
Throw it out there.
Kanye.
There we go.
Kanye has always been my favorite artist, bro. Like
Such a big influencer.
I'll tell you, the biggest influence on my music from a hip hop artist is probably 808 and HeartBlck by Kanye, bro. That's my favorite album ever. Like,
Love it.
I can't put any other album above that.
Love it.
Like that is the GOAT. But even though some people will disagree.
Yeah, some will disagree, but when you look at Kanye, he's done so much for just the industry and even just breaking hip hop into, I guess, sort of like the mainstream thing. I think Kanye is a pioneer. Yeah, he broke so many barriers.
Him and Wayne, bro. Him and
Right.
Lil Wayne. Folks don't give him too enough credit.
I give Jay-Z a little bit of credit with it as well, but you don't think so? You don't think so?
Business side of things, people making their money,
right.
Yes, because people aren't making the same money now. That they did 20 years ago.
Totally.
We're making so much more in the industry,
right?
And it's so much easier for artists to just grow.
Right.
The brand and the wallet nowadays, but nah, bro, Wayne and Kanye, those two, in my opinion, are the reason we have all these artists today. Like, I don't think there would be anyone like Uzi or anyone like that if it wasn't for those two. No,
I completely agree. I think the way they push their music inspired a lot of different people. And obviously not just you, but some of the artists that we listen to today that are the more popular ones, like Uzi.
I'd love to work with him too. That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But who wouldn't?
That's right. So yeah, that's a good collaboration there, Kanye. And maybe it'll happen one day. Manifestation is a real thing. So
I believe I'm good enough.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt.
Like, bro, even if we didn't work, bro, I'd love to just sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with that dude and just pick his brain, because obviously one of my biggest inspirations. I see a lot of myself in him. I see like the way his mind works and the way my mind works. I feel like they're very similar.
Totally. Yeah. So going from Kanye West, we're going to transition into something completely different. And I know this is going to be one that a lot of people in Milledgeville in particular will enjoy. But you used to, or maybe still work, if I'm not really sure. Sorry for not doing my research here, but you used to work at this place called Capital City, which if you're listening and you're not familiar with the Milledgeville area, Capital City is a nightclub here. It's a very popular nightclub for college kids here, as well as Milledgeville locals. Just tell me your craziest experience that you can publicly talk about that you ever had when you worked at Capital.
Man, I've been a bouncer at a few different places over the years. I've been doing it for about 5 years now.
Okay.
But I was there for about 3.5 years. My craziest experience there honestly happened 2 weeks before I even got hired.
Okay, all right.
It was one of the funnest brawls ever, bro. It was like 12 dudes from Jones County. And then I knew a few of the guys that were working there at the time. So, I'm always have my boys back. So when it's time to ride, it's time to ride. The boys were causing some trouble, I guess, and a big brawl broke out, bro. I remember ripping the back out of some dude's flannel.
Oh my gosh.
And his girlfriend, I ripped his back out. My other friend, hit him, I think. And he was on the ground, and I wasn't about to hit bro because he had went down. I wasn't gonna hit him or nothing like that. I was just kind of being the presence there, so he wasn't try no more stuff, and everybody else was getting handled. His girlfriend, I believe it was, came because I wasn't working there, of course, and because I didn't have a shirt on or nothing like that, she was like, you ain't got nothing to do with this, not knowing who my friends are.
Right.
She comes, drink all down my back while I'm standing over her boyfriend. I just turn around like this and just turn back around to the dude that keeps standing over him. Nah, man. I can't get mad. I can't know that.
Yeah, there it is right there. A Capital City exclusive. If you want to know just a little taste of what Capital is, there it is right there. It doesn't get that wild like that everywhere. It really doesn't.
No, man, that was years ago.
That's what I said. It really doesn't get that wild.
It's a very safe place to go, very fun place to go.
And I'm just a sophomore here at Georgia College, and this is only my second year. There's never really been anything like that. But that definitely is a funny story. You definitely don't see that every day.
I feel pretty cool ripping somebody's shirt. I feel pretty strong.
Totally. So I guess I really just have one more question for you. here on the Power of Conversation. I know I say that a lot. I like to make the plug. You know.
Hey man, it's nothing wrong with
nothing wrong.
Bro.
Self-promotion.
Self-promotion is just like self-love, bro. It's a necessary thing.
That's right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, and where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
In 5 years from now, I see myself traveling the world. I see myself being in a lot of different places and making a lot of moves inside, having to do with my music and even on the outside of that, because like I'm not a person that ever limits myself. I had people tell me I couldn't, I wasn't gonna be able to graduate college and still make my music, bro.
Right.
People used to tell me, like I think you might have seen it on my Snap the other day. People used to tell me to shut up when I was singing when I was younger, bro. That's
wild.
I never let what people tell me keep me from doing what I think is right or doing what I want. So I plan on having different businesses. One of them having to do with real estate. I've always wanted to flip houses. I don't know, I just love houses, bro. I like being in an empty house. I don't care how old it is, how new it is, and looking around in that house and seeing the improvements or just appreciating the work that was done there.
Right.
So I see myself dealing with a lot of real estate 5 years from now. I see myself growing my clothing brand to then also. And I'm working on getting that set up with my website and shipment and everything.
Totally.
So it's going to be a lot more HeartBlck gear coming out soon, not just the hoodies. Because, bro, it's been a lot. Like, people hit me up all the time about that. So I know I need to do my part.
I've seen the HeartBlck hoodies. I want one, man. Like, that just looks fire. It looks fire.
Hey, bro, like I said, self-promotion.
Self-promotion, there you go. Yeah. Self-promotion.
We got some hoodies, T-shirts, a lot more stuff coming soon with that. I recently, in the past few months, got my LLC established.
That's good.
My name is mine, bro. I own it 100%. So in the next 5 years, I see myself having, getting a lot of fans, touching a lot of people's lives, and being able to work and talk to a lot of different people, bro, even outside of my music. And in 10 years, I honestly can see myself with my brothers and my close friends owning a label, bro.
That's great.
Because I want to be, as an upcoming artist, one of the hardest things to do, even if your music, you can have the best song ever, bro. You can have the perfect song, but if you don't meet the right people or have the right people behind you, sometimes it just don't work out that way. And I want to be able to be a platform for not just artists, but people who have real things to say to real people.
Right.
Like, I'm not just a musician by any means. I have so much knowledge in my head, and that's one of the main reasons I'm also making music, because not just for money. I couldn't care less about money, to be honest. For my own personal life, I can live in a 1-bedroom with a dog and my video games.
There
bro.
You go. That's it.
And some food, because I love to cook. But in terms of that, man, I just want to take care of my family and make sure they can do and have everything that they need and want. I got so many sisters, bro, and I got my 2 brothers and my mama, and I got a lot of people to take care of back home. So everything I do is for them. It's not for me at all. Cause if you by yourself, man, and who are you without the people you love? Honestly.
Totally. It's about, of course, family, but connections just in general. I'm glad you touched on that, because without connections, where are you? Who are you? And that's just a really great point.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up, for sure.
Yeah, but no, I seriously plan on owning a label, bro, and still putting out music, because I make the type of music I feel like is timeless. I feel like 20 years from now, people will still be playing Maps, bro, still rocking with Toxic Love, because some things just don't go away, and who don't love a good throwback when it gets to that point. But I'm going to be a lot of different places, bro, doing a lot of things.
Yeah, totally. Any shout-outs to anybody that you haven't already shouted out already? Or?
I got to give one more shout-out to my brother, Seppi. Y'all need to go check out all his stuff. He just dropped his album a few weeks ago. It's called Bratty Boy. That's our last name. So
right.
I promise y'all that's one of the realest pieces of work you'll ever hear, and one of the realest artists that you'll ever come in contact with. And I'm happy that that's my brother.
For
also,
sure.
I gotta give a shout out to the whole Double O crew back home. If y'all know, Double O is our group, Double O Records, I-16. It's a lot of boys from Macon, bro. And people don't realize this because they focus on the bad rap Macon gets.
Right.
But Macon, I know Atlanta is the scene, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Macon, there's so many great artists that come from there, bro, and have come from there, like James Brown, bro.
Right.
The Allman Brothers, Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I went to school with one of his grandchildren. Shout out to my boy Jared Andrews.
All right.
Down there at Georgia Southern. But, nah, bro, people don't even realize the history we have with musicians and the scene that's growing back and building there now. And I'm not just talking about trap shit. I'm not just talking about conscious rap, bro.
Right.
Or the type of styles I have, bro. It's everything and anything that you want. Like,
that's it.
So, also, shout out to my boy Sutter Kane. One more shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Darko, Wiz. Also, gotta give a big shout out to my boy Tiger.
That's right. Best bouncer you'll ever see in Velvet, for sure.
Oh, best bouncer in Velvet,
best bouncer,
bro.
period.
One of
I'm
my
pretty
best
sure
friends. That's a brother. That's a brother for real.
Hey, I'm not aware of anything he does creatively, but this man has such a vibrant personality. We're gonna have to get him on the show at some point because he's something else. He's the
type of person. I say one of the best ways to describe him, his mindset, and I love it. This is one of the things I love about him. Anything you can do, I can do better.
There you go. That's right.
That's
right.
I keep birds of the same flock fly together, bro. I don't like to limit myself.
Right.
I see a lot of myself in him, and that's one of the reasons we're friends. We just always, ideal wise, we always line up together.
Totally.
Pretty much. And this might be one of the most important shout outs to me. And y'all don't need to miss out on this. Right here. Versus World. Made by a personal friend of mine. It's a clothing brand. Y'all need to get on this. Y'all need to follow this man on all social media. Look up Versus World.
World.
Shout out to my boy Wavy.
Shout out Wavy. Shout out Versus World. I've seen his brand before. Does a lot of great things. Definitely would like to have him on the show as well at some point. A lot of great shout outs here. Any more shout outs? Anybody else?
Boy, so many people. I could go through my contact list.
I'm gonna say you just scroll through the list here.
Yeah, but wrap it up. Wrap it up with the shout outs. My boy Nez, because it was a point during this year where I was starting to lose a little bit of motivation, and meeting Nez and getting back into the studio with Joya and Clay, and just being around all them boys. It made me want to work harder, man.
Totally.
It made me hungrier. And not that I ain't want it for a period of time, nothing like that, but you around people that's working, bro, it just make you work.
It makes you want to work further. That's right. That's definitely something I experienced when I got back to Milledgeville after the quarantine period. Meeting all of y'all. That made me want to push further. I was in a YouTube hiatus for about, I guess, 6 or 7 months.
For real?
I was actually in a hiatus. But now, obviously, EVZN TV is back better than ever. We're here sitting here on the Power Conversation podcast. So, harder than ever is what I like to say. But, yeah, this was a great interview. Definitely enjoyed it. You can get It's Not Me, It's You, the album. It will be out December 11th on all platforms.
It's Enemy for short, if you want.
There you go. Enemy for short.
I like playing that word.
And we are here on The Power of Conversation. This was the interview with HeartBlck. As always, you can get The Power of Conversation right here on EVZN TV, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. HeartBlck, thank you for coming on, man. This is a pleasure.
Having me, dog.
For sure. Thank you for listening to The Power of Conversation. If you like what you heard, give this video a thumbs up. Or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to give us a positive rate and subscribe. Once again, Thank you for listening to The Power Conversation, an EVZN TV production. We'll see you next time.